It's time to put this debate to bed, Nisha.
Yes. Tea time.
So last week in episode 4, there was a huge debate. It's taken a week. We've had a Twitter poll. What is the best Dunkin' biscuit?
I mean, sadly, we can't try all biscuits.
No, yeah.
But we have a select few.
Lots have been suggested, but sadly I don't have the budget to go and buy out every type of biscuit in the world. If we ever win the lottery, I mean, I'm just going to buy like a massive shed outside just for biscuits. It's called like Biscuit Hut.
Yeah, you could like make your own like biscuit bar, I guess.
Yeah, biscuit bar. Instead of beers, you go in and you get your finest biscuit.
Yeah, and the best cup of tea. It's a Dunkin'.
But as per usual, before we decide, really, because we've got 5 sets of biscuits in front of us. Is it 5? Yeah.
Well, I bought them just because I fancied some biscoffs. But we don't have to.
So we've got 6.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got 6. But before that, as per the format of the podcast, we're going to go back to the previous video and... Sorry.
And burp.
And burp. And we're going to look at the comments. And we had a big debate, actually. I saw this. There was about 20 comments. But then one of the guys who was very active on it, I think, has either blocked me or deleted his YouTube. And that was Hey Ready and Barbarossa. And there was a big debate. And this first comment was Richie Webster, who says, custard creams are the best biscuit for tea, and there is no argument against it. Well, it turned out there was, because lots of people joined in to have a go at him. But Hey Ready and Barbarossa is from Australia, and he's been praising Tim Tams.
Yeah.
Well,
Which
I went
I'd
out.
never heard of.
Yeah, I'd never heard of him, but I went out and bought a Tim Tam. I'm just going to raise it now. And as I feel this, I haven't seen it yet. It just feels like a chocolate bourbon.
Yeah.
So it may be just a chocolate bourbon, but we'll find out. So then we had Sug, who just said, yes, epic podcast day.
Aww.
We love Sug.
Yeah.
Right, and this, yes, Nisha.
Oh, God. It's about the bacon thing.
Yeah, it's about bacon, and here's some science coming straight at you.
Okay.
From Nick. It says, freezing meat forms sharp crystals of ice within the meat and cause fibres to break down as some of the meat's natural flavours escape once thawed.
Is that all meat or is that just bacon?
In this instance, bacon.
Because we freeze a lot of meat.
But I imagine
easier.
it's
easier and cheaper.
Yeah, it's going to be all meat, but yeah.
I imagine it's... Because I've noticed, obviously, when you leave any food in there for a long time, it gets like frostbite and you can't eat it. It's just ice.
It's just ice.
So I imagine there's a point where it's fine to have them in the freezer for a certain amount of time, and then it starts to go a bit past it.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I just meat flavoured ice.
Oh, yeah.
Just put it in your whiskey. Just a shard of bacon.
Oh.
It's got frostbite.
Bacon cube.
Dragon Kiwi Music has offered us, I don't get the allure of dipping biscuits in tea. It just makes the tea taste vaguely of biscuit and makes the biscuit taste of wet.
Nothing wrong with biscuit tea.
Just thought that it makes biscuit taste wet.
Soggy biscuit.
This one came from DJ Kurz, and I did respond to this. In the last video, I put a picture of the legendary Sunday roast from that really shit pub next to us.
Yeah, air quote, legendary.
Legendary, terrible. And he said, what is a food item between Lucas and Nisha? And this was a Yorkshire pudding, and I've got a funny story about Yorkshire pudding.
Right.
So when I was about 14, I had a German exchange student called Philip. Hello, Philip, if you're out there. And he became obsessed with Yorkshire puddings. And in effect, it is just batter.
Yeah.
It's just a batter, and then you just cook it in the oven. That's it.
There's not much to it.
It's
really.
not a pudding. It's not a dessert. It goes with your savoury. It goes with your meat.
Your Sunday roast.
Yeah, Sunday roast. And yeah, we had Philip come over, and he went home, and I think Wires were just a little bit cross because he took home a bag of Aunt Bessie's Yorkshire puddings, and then he sent me a picture of him with a Yorkshire pudding with ice cream in it.
Oh no!
Because he thought it was a dessert. Good old Philip.
Wow.
I have got a comment from The Green Thing, which we're going to talk about later. That's going to be part of this episode. Sam has returned. Sam is the one who suggested about taco sauce.
Oh yeah.
And have we ever had it?
No.
No.
So we said the taco we know is a crispy shell that you put meat in.
Yeah. So he says that's bollocks, which I really enjoyed. Fantastic. Thank you for that, Sam. He says taco is 1,000% better than peri peri mayonnaise, and he also said I have had people ask me if we have the internet in Northern Ireland.
Right. Do you have internet?
I'd like to think they do.
How are you watching this podcast?
Someone called Adney or I remember speaking to this guy a while ago, and he told me how to pronounce his name, and I forgot because it's been a while. But he said he lives in Norway. He says, "Sorry, I can't buy your Audi. I live in Norway."
Oh.
I'll deliver it. It'll be about £1,000.
Airmail.
And to drive it over. £1,000. Christoph says, "I'm always microwaving cheese on bread. It's great, just don't overdo it. About 40 to 50 seconds is enough." I mean, if you want to do this and send me a picture of the results.
Yeah, microwaving cheese on bread.
Yeah, cheese toasty, minus the toast. But right, let's crack on. So as you heard in the intro, I brewed a cup of tea. It is milk and 2 sugars, the only way to have a cup of tea. And we have got, as suggested in the comments by Hey Redding, we've got the Tim Tam, we've got Jammy Dodgers, which was also suggested. We've got ginger nuts, recommended by a man of similar name, Lucas. A ginger nut. Nisha is ginger.
All right. I'm sorry. I'm just staring at the biscuits longingly.
Nisha's brought some Lotus Biscoffs. I have bought my pink wafers, which are a biscuit, and I will fight anyone. And then we've got Morrison's own brand rich tea, which are just sugared cardboard.
They're just the cardboard biscuits.
It's just cardboard with a bit of sugar. So where would you like to start, Nisha? And then we'll have to rank them.
I'll go with the Jammy Dodgers because they're already open.
Right, so I've got Jammy Dodger that I opened because I was really hungry. I wanted a Jammy Dodger. Do you want that one?
Am I getting the...
You get that one.
I'll get the last one.
Right, I'm going to dip this in. I am now submerged in the tea. It's hard with a podcast because you can't see this. Okay, it looks like it's held its shape, which is nice. Okay,
I'll dunk as well.
I've got a problem straight off the bat.
Come on.
I do not like how soft that Jammy Dodger is.
It's so soggy.
That is so soft. That's really soft. I'm now just eating the Jammy Dodger.
They're really nice. They're the raspberry ones.
Right, here we go. So this was Hey Redding's suggestion of Tim Tam, and that to me, I've just taken out the packet. It's a penguin.
Yeah, I was like, that looks familiar. What is that?
That's a penguin. So we'll dip this in. It's like covered in chocolate, which is good. That's good. That is nice.
It works. I think really any chocolatey biscuit works well with tea. I just can't eat a lot because chocolate is just so sickly.
I'm trying to blast through these because people listening to podcasts don't want to listen to people eating biscuits. But this is consumer advice. We are helping everyone. So next up, we have got Morrison's own brand cardboard. Just dunk that.
Well, all I could taste is that chocolate.
Just not cleanse the palate, Nisha.
No, I haven't got anything to cleanse with.
I need to get a beer. That is alright. No, you just look...
It's just... there's better rich tea biscuits. This is just... These are like 40p, so...
I don't think they were that. I think they were about 14p.
No, they were about 40p.
Nisha is my financial advisor. She registers every price that I've ever paid.
Look, I remember picking them up thinking, oh god, these are going to be bad, but I'll have some. For like 40p, because I just had the Morrison's own brand range just there. They all look so plain.
Right, next up, we have the ginger nut.
Yeah.
This is recommended by Lucas off the channel. This is a big moment if you're listening, because this is your suggestion. Alright, fair play, Lucas. That's strong. That's a strong contender.
Yeah, I like that one.
Now we move on
That's really good.
Yeah, that is good. I'll give Lucas a bit of credit there. Not often I do that. I do love it, really. I've just absolutely severed this packet, by the way. I don't know how that is going to go back in the shelf. Right, so Lotus Biscoff is next.
This is just my addition, because I saw some in the shop. I was like, yes, I'll get them.
Yeah, I'll take that. That's good.
Yeah.
All right.
That's really nice.
And now it is mine, and this has caused a huge debate.
Oh, I don't know.
People saying it's not a biscuit. Well, it is a biscuit.
I don't care what it is. I just don't know if it goes in a tea. That's all I'm concerned about.
But next up is Adam's legendary, famous Pink Panther wafers. I'm dunking mine
Are
in
they
now.
Pink Panther though?
No, they're not Pink Panther. They're Happy Shopper.
Happy shopper.
Right, I'm going to have mine now. Just dunked it. Yummy. Okay.
I'm going to try again. I've just got so many other flavours.
We also have a bag of Swedish fish. I'm just going to dunk a Swedish fish.
Oh no.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Just dunk that Swedish fish.
You know what? This isn't that bad. I think I prefer it over the Jammy Dodger.
Well, yeah. All right, so my
that's
rank.
too soft.
My rank from worst to best. Jammy Dodger was worst.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was the cardboard.
Yeah.
Then it was, and this is where we get actually really close. I'm going to say the Lotus.
Really?
Yeah, Lotus is third bottom. Pink Panther third. Tim Tam second. Lucas, you're going to like this. Ginger Nut, in my opinion, was the best. What about you, Nisha?
Okay, yeah, Jammy Dodger, the worst, followed by the cheap rich tea biscuits.
Yeah. So we've got them in common.
Then the Tim Tam for me. Then the pink wafer.
Yeah.
Then the ginger nut, and then top was the Biscoff Lotus one for me.
Yeah.
I just really enjoyed that.
Well, I'm happy that my Pink Panther wafer was bronze medalist in both.
Yeah, it surprisingly worked all right.
Yeah. Right, so everyone, that
Weird.
is our biscuit tasting session done. It's consumer advice. Obviously, everyone's got their own tastes, but we're right.
Adam is right.
And let's see how many people are right, because I put a poll on.
Oh, yeah.
So, funnily enough, Lucas with Ginger Nut won the poll, followed by Jammy Dodger, which was everyone's second choice, but that was our worst.
That's our worst one.
Yeah. And then Pink Wafer came third. Pink Wafer's just like
It's
a good
like, yeah,
steady Eddie,
middle.
isn't it?
It's like average.
Just like distinctly
Pink
average.
wafer is just average.
Yeah. Right, and let me talk about Yorkshire puddings again, because I had a tweet from a guy called John, and I know John is actually from Sheffield.
I'm going to drink this tea, hold on.
I'm drinking the tea.
I'm drinking the tea now.
Well, I'm going to drink my Pepsi Max.
You do it.
This has been too light-hearted for me. We need to bring it down.
No.
It needs to be about small things that have irritated me, and I am going to set off. This is it now. We're back into That's Bollocks. We've done our consumer advice.
This has been a nice little starter.
Yeah, but it's too happy for me. We need to get angry. So today I was driving to work, and I drove past two runners who had stopped to have a conversation. But, Nisha, they were stood on a junction.
Like in the road?
In the road. Stood
Why?
in
Why?
the junction having a fucking chat. And I was driving past them, and you can imagine me stood on the path, and a car just zooms past you, and the driver's just staring at you.
Yeah.
That was me, just looking at them, going, "What are you doing?" And half of me wanted to swing the car a little bit to the right towards
Just to
them.
scare them.
Yeah.
Like, look, you're being idiots.
They
Why are you in the middle of the
literally
road?
Stood having a conversation in a road.
I don't know. I don't know what goes through people's heads when they do that sort of thing.
That's
so, so I can't comment. I'm like, oh, they must be. I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know what they'd be doing. Like, oh yeah, let's just stand here and have a chin wag. Why can't you just stand on the path, which is probably a couple of feet away?
Just because. So yeah, I went to work mad. And then, guess what? Yesterday, you know this. So I don't know why I'm saying guess what.
Guess what? You know this.
Guess what? Or even though you know what happened. So a couple of days ago, I bought a parcel, which was American stuff.
Yeah.
Right? And I ordered it to here. And then when they gave me my delivery slot, I would have been at work.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, send it to work. So I changed my delivery address, send it to work. Fantastic. That helps. Guess what happened? Even though you know what happened. I got another email on delivery day saying that my parcel will be delivered in 30 minutes. I was about an hour and a half before I started work.
Yeah.
I had to get out of bed, get ready, and go to work to get this parcel, and then just sit there until my shift started.
I know, cause like the email you got was like, oh yeah, we usually leave the depot at 11 a.m. and I was like, well, I'm not going to be in today.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I'll be at work, so I'll send it to work. And then, oh, your parcel arrived at 10 a.m. At work. Like, but I'm not in. I'm not in work.
So even though I changed the bloody address, I then had to bloody go to the new address to get the bloody parcel.
Bloody hell.
Bloody hell.
Bloody hell.
Bloody bastards. Dippy D. And then this annoyed me about the same guy who delivered the parcel was that he knocked on the front door, right? It's a pub. I don't live next to the front door. So he knocked on the door, and in the time it took me to walk, I'd say 15, 20 feet to the door to answer it, and I opened the door, he'd walked off to try and get in another entrance. So he just basically knocked on the door and fucked off.
No, you'd wait a while, especially at a pub. It's not like... Well, I'd be a bit myself, be like confused at which door I should knock on, but I'd at least give it a minute.
Give me a chance.
Give me a minute to get to the door.
I mean, I know I'm impatient at times, but that was taking the biscuit literally.
Because this was yesterday that you were at work and this happened. Because I went to my dentist to pick up a mouth guard, and they were like, "Oh, just knock on the door." Because you can't walk in obviously now because of what's happening, but they were like, just knock on the door, and I knocked, and I waited like a minute, and I'm like, how long should I wait?
Yeah, how long is long?
And they answered, and I was like, I'll wait a minute, I'll knock again, wait another minute, and if not, I'll just kind of linger around for a bit.
Just loiter.
They could be, I don't know, like, you don't know what they're doing, they could be seeing a patient.
Yeah.
But if someone had answered the door, and I was like, yes, patience is key. Be patient, people.
Well, I got a post deleted the other day, Nisha.
Oh, yes, you did, yeah.
Yeah, I put a post in this selling group. As everyone knows, me and Nisha are moving house. And I was like, oh, a little coffee machine would be nice. So I put, hello everyone, I am not selling anything, I am looking for a coffee machine. Does anyone have one? Drop me a PM if you have one. Now to me, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. And in this group, it's important to point out, about 20 times a day, people post, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for moving boxes, can someone help me? I had a notification come through that said, hello, the admin of this selling site has removed your post because it violates their community guidelines because I'm not selling anything.
Right. But everyone else couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So why are you singled out?
Exactly. So I went, well, that's bollocks.
That's bollocks.
He said it. I said, that's bollocks. So I made a new post where I was selling my £20 note for the price of a coffee machine. So I said, if you want to buy my £20 note, then I will charge you a coffee machine. And that post stayed up.
Oh, that's so
because
clever.
I am selling my note.
That's clever.
Yeah.
Did anyone ever actually reply to you though?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, but they wanted me to collect. That's not my game.
No collecting.
No, because the thing is with this group as well, it's regionalised. It's the local area. And there's people who don't live in the local area on it. So like, oh, can you travel out to Gleedless, which is about 25, 30 minute driveway? Like, no.
No. Although, now you've mentioned that, it reminded me of that thing that happened to me the other day on that website. Can you remember?
Yeah.
So, because we're obviously moving into a house at some point, I want a nice dressing table where I can just keep all my like makeup stuff, hair stuff, so it's not all over the place. And I'm very picky when it comes to stuff like clothes, furniture, anything in general. And it's taken me ages to find a dressing table I like. So then this person posts a dressing table on this website, and it's customised, and it's white.
It looked very nice.
It's white, and it had a glass marble top, and it looks so nice because I love marble stuff. And for 45 quid, I was like, oh, that's really good.
Yeah. Really
good. It didn't have a mirror, but I was like, buy a mirror separate, it's fine. So I sent them a message saying, can this be dismantled? Because obviously I don't know if I'd be able to fit it in my car because it's an awkward shape. And they just said, not sure, we'll look later. I'm like, okay. And then later on, someone else commented saying, yes, please, I want this.
Yeah.
And then I waited and didn't hear anything from this woman who was selling it. And I was like, I bet you she's giving it to someone else. And I bet it's that person who commented saying, yes, please.
Yeah.
So I kept looking back at the advert and it kept saying pending. And I was like, she's not sold it yet.
Yeah.
There's still a chance she might message me and tell me if you can take it apart.
Yeah. And
then I looked, I think it was Wednesday, and it said sold. I was like, thanks a bunch. Thanks a bunch. Probably a bit more like rude and angry than that. But thanks, effing bunch. So I've spent ages looking for a dressing table and finally find one I like, and then
you get binned off.
I get dicked over pretty much.
So when we were quickly looking through the comment section, I mentioned one from Da Green Thing. He says what pisses him off is when you buy a game and then shortly after it goes on sale for half the price. I agree.
Yeah, I mean you could have that with most things.
Yeah.
Really, 'cause I get that a lot with clothes. I'll go and buy something. It's a bit pricey, but I think I really like it, and then a week later, it's in the sale. On the sale rail, thanks.
I very rarely buy games at full price. I've just because I've just stretched, I've just given myself a large amount of cramp. Oh, so I'm just holding my leg in this position while I cry inside. Ow.
Take a minute.
No, I don't need a minute. And it's so fucking bad. Just a big throbbing lump in the back of my leg. Ow. I don't buy games at full price because that is what always happens. They come out and it's like the high end, for that first release when everyone's like, I need this game.
Yeah.
And then, like, a month later, right, now that everyone's had the initial rush, knock a 20 quid off it. And that's when I buy it. The only game I've done that recently where I bought full price was Formula 1.
Yeah.
But then
really pricey,
it literally dropped like 20 quid, so I do get it. I've worked events at City Hall and the one that sticks in my mind really badly was Circus of Horrors. And if anyone's never heard of Circus of Horrors, go on YouTube and prepare to be traumatised. It's a guy who puts a bowling ball on the end of his penis.
Oh, God.
He hangs a bowling ball from his willy. So one year the circus came and they were charging like 40 quid a ticket and they just couldn't flog them because it's extortionate. And people obviously, like I said, when you've seen it, you've seen it.
Yeah.
And they sold like 100 and the room holds 2,000 people. So then they went to Groupon, which is like a online voucher website.
Yeah.
And they were selling 4 tickets for a grand total of £20 just to get people through the door. So it's 5 quid each. And then obviously the room, I'd say got probably about 500 people in.
Yeah.
And people watched the show, and I think it all triggered off when someone said, I can't believe I've paid 40 quid for this shit. And then someone turned to him and went, oh, tickets are only a £5, it's all right.
Oh, no.
And then he just went, sorry.
Oh, no.
And then came straight to me as manager, went to the staff, I want to speak to manager, male Karen. He is. Went, I want to speak to the manager. And I'm there and he's like, I've paid 40 quid and everyone else has paid £5. Customers.
Oh, God. Could rant about customers for days.
Yeah, I don't want to lean too much on the old customer chat.
No. Unless there's like a really particular bad incident from the past, already funny.
I've got one, now that you say that.
Okay.
So I was on the bar. I wasn't managing this event. I was on the bar because we were short-staffed and I used to be really nice and help. Back once upon a time. And I was on the bar and this guy took his son into the toilet. And the son was only like 3 or 4 years old. And it is incredibly important to point out right now that there was no one else in the toilet.
Right.
So in the toilet, you have 3 urinals and you have a cubicle.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Nisha, if you needed a poo, which would you use?
The cubicle?
Exactly, the cubicle with the fucking toilet.
Yes.
No, the man just plonked his child on a urinal and let him have a shit in the urinal.
Fucking hell.
And then he had the audacity to walk out and not say anything. So then obviously the next person's gone in.
I feel like he's done that more than once.
Yeah. The next person's gone in and just saw, King Kong's finger just poking out of a urinal.
God. Why? Why? When's a perfectly good toilet? There's a perfectly good toilet.
Yeah, with no one in it.
And it's not blocked or anything. There's no reason for him to not use it other than pure laziness, I guess, or just to be a dick.
I think it's option 2, just to be a dick. You know what? I've sat there wanting to put them in a book because they sound unbelievable. But the people who witnessed it, I want them to put their side on each story to show that it's true. I could honestly write a book about the funny and stupid things that happen at City Hall.
We should write a book about just interacting with customers in general and just like the funny encounters we've had. Because you've had, well, I mean, we both had the hospitality side, but I've also had the retail side.
Yeah.
And the awkwardness, like you've dealt more in like events, and I've dealt with like shops and stuff like that. So they're like slightly different, but still just as frustrating.
Because obviously through my side of the job, I've worked with a lot of celebrities.
Yeah.
And I've got to meet a lot of celebrities, like when Harry Styles came to his sister's graduation, and the steward who was at the VIP entrance didn't know who he was and sent him round to the main entrance.
Did you not know who he was? Was he an older?
Yes, he was very old. He's the guy who fell asleep and got fired because the room got robbed while he was asleep. Do you remember that guy?
I think so, yeah.
He fell asleep on the sofa at the entrance. He just sat down on the sofa, and because he was set like 70 years old, he fell asleep, and someone walked past him from outside, went into the room. He was like the VIP room, and just walked in and started robbing everyone, and then walked out.
Oh my god!
And then like literally, everyone was coming. My bag's been stolen. And he was fast asleep in the foyer. But yeah, he didn't know who Harry Styles was, so sent him around to the main entrance where there was about 2,000 people waiting. Now, odds are someone probably recognises Harry Styles out of that 2,000 people.
You think?
Yeah. And I remember being sat down by my manager like at the time, and there was me and another supervisor called Tom. And Tom's like one of my best friends. And he sat us down and said, Harry Styles' sister's graduating today. Don't put anything on social media. Here's the plan if anything goes tits up. Get him to this room. We'll get him out of the way. We'll sort it. So that was the plan. Mm-hmm. And then we were all like that. We didn't tell the staff. None of the staff knew. And then the university, whose graduation ceremony it was, kindly tweeted, congratulations to sister of Harry Styles on graduating today. And I'll never forget taking the bins out about an hour later out the back of the venue, and there was a child with a sign saying, I love you, Harry, with his mum. Because they'd seen that Harry Styles was there. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I think that was always the worst bit about that job, was when you had a big act on, and then you had to take the bins out, and you had to go through stage door where all the fans were waiting, and you'd go out and they're like, woo!
Yeah, just say, it's just generic member
it's just
of staff.
Generic person emptying the bins.
Well, I used to fucking love it when it was like someone big and they're there with 3 tour buses and they've got the barriers out and there's like 100 people stood just staring at the wall, hoping that their hero is going to re-emerge and come and say, hello, everyone. Yeah. But that never happened. But then I used to love it when you're like, I was walking behind him, excuse me, just shoving him out of the way. Excuse me, just move it barrier. I work here. Cheers, pal. Slam it barrier shut, stick it finger up at him, and then just walk into stage door, swinging the bollocks as you walk, because you are just doing what they can't do.
Yeah. You feel like a big man, like, yeah, I'm allowed through this barrier.
I think the worst I ever saw, and again, this is what I want to put in a book. If anyone would buy this book, let me know. I want to know there's at least some people who were interested in it, was that we had Ollie Murs. And Ollie Murs, we were told, was going to go out the side door. So we had it all planned, and I don't think I was with you at the time. I think it was my ex-girlfriend. Or maybe it was you. I don't remember. It was a while ago. But long and short of it is, Ollie Murs, who was a singer, was supposed to go out the side door. So there'd be no security issues. He's just going to get the side door, jump in a car, fuck off.
Yeah.
He went out of stage door and got on his tour bus, which we weren't told about. And I remember walking to my car in the car park and seeing everyone just fucking surround this tour bus. All the security like scrambling to get people back from this tour bus as it's trying to get out. And obviously there's like 400 like women just screaming, grabbing hold of the tour bus. So I was like Superman that day. You know when he like rips his shirt open to reveal the S? Mm-hmm. I ripped my jacket open to reveal the burgundy tie to say that I am a member of staff at this venue. I ripped it open and I handed either you or my girlfriend at the time, I can't remember which. I opened my car door and handed her.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't you. No. But I handed her my jacket and said, I will be back. And then I waltzed over. Excuse me. And for some reason, the head of security just looked at me and went, Adam, get on that window there. The window at the side of the tour bus where the driver is sat.
Right.
So I'm literally stood, pulling people off this, like, the corner of the tour bus, with Ollie Murs stood there, waving. And I look as I'm pulling these women off and got to the tour bus. I looked at him, he looked at me, and I just nodded. Yep. And just carried on as the tour bus rolled away at 1 mile an hour. I want to end on this because this is such a shit story. It's in the news, and I asked on Twitter for people to send me a news story that made them laugh, and I got one from Richie Wells. I think Richie was in the comments earlier on the YouTube video. Who says, and this is absolute God's honest truth, an investigation has found that Subway bread has too much sugar to be classified as bread.
Really?
Yeah.
Well?
It was an Irish court have ruled that Subway cannot call it bread because there's too much sugar in it.
Oh, God. Sugary bread.
So I was at work today with a girl called Jenny, and Jenny, if you're listening, I know you're on about it. Hello. And we were debating it, and it's like, what can Subway call their bread? Because it's not bread. So I said brioche, and that's probably the best shout. They could call it like an Italian brioche.
Yeah, that's like sweet, isn't it?
Yeah, so you can call it an Italian brioche. It's like, I just like the idea of, yeah, excuse me, mate, could I get 6-inch meatball marinara on an Italian brioche, please? Cheese and toasted.
Oh, yeah, that's weird. Never knew that. Now I'm like, I don't know if I want a Subway.
Yeah.
So much sugar in the bread.
So yeah, Subway don't have bread. It's a 12-inch brioche.
I don't like this. Don't like the sugariness.
So yeah, right, that brings episode 5 to an end. Do you think, Nisha, everyone who has sat through this video now, who are now at the home stretch, do you think we should get Carl on the next episode?
I think we should, yeah. I think that'll be a good idea. I think he'd enjoy it as well.
I'll ring him now.
Not right now.
Yeah, I'm going to ring him now.
Why? You should probably give him a heads up.
I will.
So you said you're going to give him a heads up. But Adam.
Nisha, stop fighting.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, my sweet.
Hello.
Hello.
What's up?
I was just wondering if you wanted to be on the next episode of our podcast with me and Nisha.
Yeah, sure. When do you record it?
It'll probably be next Thursday or Friday if we work it.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm free those days.
Yeah, sweet. That's all. That's all.
Okay, no worries. I'm just about to walk into a shower, so you just caught me before I got into the water.
I thought I heard it. But yeah, cheers, mate.
Yeah, no problem. I'll see you in a bit.
See you in a bit. Bye-bye. Well, there we go. So Carl's going to be on episode 6. So yeah, we'll get Carl on the next one. So if you've got any questions for us, for Carl, I was going to say if you want to tell him anything, but probably don't do that. If you've got anything that you want us to rant about, let us know in the comments. If you're going to buy our book, let us know in the comments, and I'll start writing. Anything to add?
No, I'm just laughing at the thought of us having a book.
It'd be a great book. The book will be called That's Bollocks.
Ooh, yeah.
This is like the podcast version of the book. I'm just going to transcribe everything that we've said.
You could just say customers are bollocks.
Customers are bollocks.
The customer is not always right. Like, you could say customer's always right. You could just be like, they're not, though.
Customers are right, apart from when they're a dick. But
customers are wrong.
So yeah, I'm happy. We've got Carl for episode 6. Sorry, another burp slipped out. It's been great. I've burped. I've had cramp.
Your body's just malfunctioning today.
It's been a long day.
Yeah, it has.